Masters. A very good morning and good evening to you all. Thank you all for joining us from all across the globe for this beautiful Thursday morning. And welcome to day 24 of Swayam, and presented by IFSS and co-partnered by 7 wonderful organization masters: Omega Pyramid, Dallas, PSSM Ignite, Beat, Breath Universe, Joy, PIMA, and PMMA. So from past 23 days, masters, we have been listening to the wonderful masters' experiences and having wonderful meditations and learning so many new things. So today also we are going to have another wonderful session with a young and energetic master. And before that, we'll first start the session with meditation. And today is also a special day, masters. It's a full moon day. In India, it's called Eruvaka Punnama, and where the farmers start their prepping for the next crop. And here in US, it's a strawberry moon. So masters, let's meditate with the full moon energies. So to guide today's meditation, I want to invite Sharat Master. Welcome, Sharat sir. Over to you, sir.
Good morning, Bhavani madam.
Morning,
Hope
sir.
I am audible, clear.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. Let's get started. Thank you so much. So today is a full moon day. So there is a lot of cosmic flow, cosmic energy flow. So if we are very serious in meditation, and when I say serious, focused today, I think we can receive a lot of energies. So let's begin our meditation. So I request everyone to find the comfortable posture. The key to meditation is the method is everybody knows Ana-Pana-Sati Meditation. The steps are also very simple. So you should, because we get a lot of energy, we should form a circuit. After finding a comfortable posture where you can sit for longer duration, you should cross your legs. If you're sitting on the floor, you don't have to, because you're already crossing your legs. But if you're sitting on a sofa or a stool, right, you should be able to cross your legs, clasp your fingers, form a circuit, remove your specs before doing that, and close your eyes. That's what you have to do. But the key to this method is how any meditation, not only Anapanasati, how you are beginning, means for initial, the beginners of meditation, how you are, right? So beginning, so you cannot sit suddenly, right? Or you cannot sit without detaching or without collecting yourself from what you have been doing, right? This morning or this afternoon, you have to start with that and then slowly disengage the mind before starting this method. That's what we have to do. So I request everyone to find the comfortable posture. I'm sure you are in a place where you will not be disturbed for next 40 minutes. Once you found your comfortable posture, clasp your fingers, cross your legs. As you're doing it, bring into your awareness the surroundings where you are sitting. It could be any place. There will be a lot of things happening around you. So bring into your awareness everything which is happening, whatever you can into your awareness, whatever you will able to know. Take 3-4 seconds to do that. This will help settling down. Your mind starts settling down. There could be any noise in the background. There could be anything happening. Just bring to your attention. Don't involve in it. Do not think about that. Just bring into your awareness. Now slowly close your eyes. slowly. Why slowly? If you do it fast, you will trap the light, whatever in your room, the ambient light in your eyes, and that will cause disturbance. So you have to close your eyes slowly. Now you are already bringing in whatever is happening in and around you. It could be the next room where you're sitting, it could be the noise on the street, it could be anybody talking. Nothing. All of these things will not disturb you, distract you. In fact, all of these things will aid you to get deeper into meditation. To take 4 to 5 seconds to just bring into awareness about everything happening in your surroundings. Now, slowly bring your attention, focus on your breath, which is happening incessantly from our birth. Give your undivided focus to the breath, which is happening on its own. Feel relaxed. Do not have any tension, both in mind and body. The beauty is, after you inhale, exhalation follows automatically. After you exhale, inhalation starts on its own. That is the point. You can start observing your breath. Request everybody to find that point when you can start observing your breath. Many things will come into your awareness. It can be anything. Don't pay attention. Cut them out. Come back to breath. Do it with ease. For next 30 seconds, let's be committed. Just observe your breath. Nothing else. Light background music, meditation music will start anytime. Relax. Come back to your breath. Do not visualize anything. Nothing to be chanted. There is nothing to analyze. Don't do anything. Just observe your breath. Let everything else become passive except your breath. Masters, be there to witness anything which comes to your awareness. No judgments. Just be there and observe. Like this music in the background, you are also with your breath without involving with it. This is awareness. Consciousness. There is a flow of cosmic energy. Cut out everything else. Be with this wonderful moment. Be with your breath. Go deep into your consciousness, masters. Let breath lead you into it. 3 more minutes, masters. Be with your breath. One more minute. Please take the music away. Thank you. Thirty seconds. And 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Rub your palms. Keep it on your eyelids. Take a moment and slowly open your eyes. Masters, let's give a commitment that we will be with our breath every day, at least as much time as your age. Let breath lead you into meditation. Thank you so much for meditating with me. It was wonderful. I can see a lot of energies flow. Over to you, Bhavani ma'am. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you, Sharad sir. It was really wonderful meditation, like well, nice energies. all the full moon energies. So thank you for guiding us today. Thank you, and welcome back, masters. Hope you all had a wonderful meditation. And now it's time for us to get into the next segment of our today's session. We have a young and energetic master, Yashaswani Bajaj, with us to share her experience and wisdom. Yashaswani Master lives in Toronto, Canada, and by profession, she's a physiotherapist and by passion, a meditation practitioner. So, welcome, Yashaswani Master.
Thank you. Thank you very much, Bhavani ma'am. Thank you for the introduction. I'm very grateful to be here. Hello, everyone. I'm so glad to be here.
Actually, it gives the immense joy, Master, to seeing you all these young and wonderful masters who are mating from such a young age and leading a wonderful life and like doing a spreading meditation and doing spiritual seva. So, and you guys are like very inspiring and like very motivational to all other people. So, thank you for this wonderful seva. Please do share your journey and experience with us.
Thank you very much. So if I had to briefly discuss my journey, which eventually I would love to share about my learnings from this journey, I think my interest in healing developed as I got into physiotherapy. I'm a physiotherapist by profession. So when I started my journey, I think one by one, when I used to work with people, I used to work with a lot of patients who are in pain, and it also made me question if there was more to healing, more to just the body repairing, or how to help my patients get better. And then there was this curiosity which led me to reading different spiritual books. A lot of books led me on the spiritual path, and different experiences. Then I tried, met wonderful spiritual people on this path who led me to sources like I learned how to practice Reiki, which is another type of energy healing. Then I got led to some more energy, emotional healing courses, and eventually got into meditation as I attended a stillness retreat at Pyramid Valley. This was a beautiful meditation where I began learning Ana-Pana-Sati, and after this, meditation became a regular part of my journey, and it's never changed since then. And overall, I think I wanted to understand how healing happens on not just the body level or the logical level beyond medicine. I wanted to understand different layers of healing, how energy flows, and it led me to understand that healing is not just on a logical or a physical level, but there are many layers to it. Physical, emotional, spiritual helped me understand that we are all beings of light, and our energy influences our life, our future, and meditation definitely is something that helps with this process. So that's how my journey began into this entire process. And speaking of, if I had to share some things that I learned during this journey, I would like to touch upon a few things that really shaped how I look at meditation. Firstly, I would love to talk about why I found meditation to be very helpful. When I started meditating, first thing I noticed was my mind was definitely a lot calmer. There was less overthinking and more going within. That was the first thing that I noticed logically. Then I noticed emotionally, I was more compassionate, because once we start to meditate, we stop identifying strongly with our ego. There is a process where we realize that it's not just I, Yashaswani Bajaj, or I'm a female, I'm a therapist, I'm a person, like whoever I define myself with. There is this boundary or the ego that starts to melt, and we start to connect with oneness, where we start to understand that there's this love for every being. And that meditation helped me understand that the more you meditate, the more there is almost like you expand, there is less of your ego and identity and more of a feeling of oneness. So that helped me become more compassionate. So I found that the meditation emotional benefit of the there was a mental benefit I noticed. My thoughts were clear. Emotionally, I was more compassionate. I could tap into feelings of love, joy, peace, all of these feelings more commonly. And that definitely helped me in my relationships, at my workplace. I was less reactive, more responsive. So that helped me understand that meditation seems like the right path. And then came the other energy benefits, the physical, mental, emotional. Then came the spiritual benefits. Energetically, also, I find that this concept has been very close to my heart. I understand that when we meditate, just like Sharadji said at the start of today, that today is a full moon day, and that means there's a flow of energy. So when he mentioned about this flow of energy, we often wonder what this is. It's like this: we are all connected to pure consciousness, beings of light. And when we meditate, we can tap into this flow of energy. And I personally think this is one of the most amazing benefits of meditation, where this energy flows through us. And different religions, different cultures around the world have given a name to this energy. Some have called it chi, some have called it ki, like the Chinese have called it chi flow, the Japanese call it ki, as in Reiki, and then in Sanskrit it's called prana. The scientists also call it, there is something called resonance, life force energy. So different cultures and different texts have mentioned this energy. But what is this energy? It is something we experience when we meditate. It's almost like a cosmic energy flow. And this energy is what animates all of us. It is the energy that actually animates every being on this planet. And when we meditate, it's almost like we are recharging our batteries and we are overflowing with this light energy. And so, I would like to touch a little more upon this subject today as we speak, where energy is something which is something we can all tap into to make our life better in many ways. So, speaking of this flow of energy, I personally think that uh, there is a way that this energy can animate us. Like when we feel this energy flow when we meditate, it's almost like, if I had to describe it in emotions, to simplify it, it is the feeling of pure love, pure joy, pure beauty, pure truth. It's almost like grace, like this high frequency energy that flows through us. And if I describe it to people, I often say, when you take your car into a car wash, you don't think what you're doing or how this is going to work. The machines start to clean your car. Every part of it starts to wash and sparkle your car. You're just entering. So when you meditate, you're just entering into that flow, and then one by one meditation is clearing out clearing out those thoughts, shining up your car, just like that, shining up your bodies. And I mean bodies, not just your physical body. We have several other bodies. Our physical body is the first layer. So this meditation clears your energy body, your emotional body, your mental body, and your spiritual bodies. So we have so many layers to us, which is almost described like an aura around us. And as you can see in different paintings, this is how our auras were described, like bright light. So when we meditate, it's almost like you don't have to think or analyze what's going to happen. You don't need to do anything. You just need to go into that state and just like the way the car goes into a wash and it's automated, you just go through it and it does the job. Whether you need to be healed, whether you need more light, whether you need more good energy, whether you need physical healing, leave it, just surrender and go into meditation. And once you do it, different benefits crop up for different people. So I like to think of it like that. So, other than that, I think I could also, yes, Prithvi.
That's really wonderful, Yash. So I have one question. Like you were talking about the energy. Usually we get affected by the energy which is outside of us, right? Usually our environment
Yes.
we live in, the people that we live around, they keep influencing us, and we keep complaining about those energies. But better energy always starts from within. So how does energy impact us and our experiences, and how can we improve that inner energy?
Lovely. So I think that's a good way to look at it. Like, we are all beings of light, and sometimes different people, different places have different energies. Like, I like to give this example often when you watch, there's a contrast in energy, and we all feel this intuitively. For example, when you look at two puppies running around or two babies laughing, the energy is very light. It's very playful. It's joy. But when you, for example, look at a news channel that is talking about wars and death and a lot of things which are very harsh, what is the energy like? It's more dense. The energy feels heavy. The energy feels dense. So as we navigate our life on this planet, we are dealing with our planet as a planet of duality. There is good, there is bad, there is happy, there is sad. There's always going to be duality: pleasure, pain, happiness, sadness. But in order to navigate people or energies, different contrasting energies, I find that certain practices really help. One, I like to personally think of myself as a being of light. So when you start your day, I personally, I can give my example. Like, I work in healthcare, so I deal with people who are in a lot of pain all day, who have injuries, who have severe pain. So rather than absorbing their pain or just feeling their pain very intensely, which we often do as sensitive beings, I like to think of myself in a bubble of light. Or I just like to meditate before I start my day, which does the same job. So sometimes just envisioning that you are a being of light, you are surrounded by a being of light. When you walk into these places with different energies, different, some may be heavy, some may be light, you are basically embodying love. And rather than absorbing the pain or the hate or the anger, you are being a channel of light. So you are carrying that energy wherever you go. So, how do we do this? There are many ways to do it. One is meditation. Second is, we don't realize we are such powerful beings. Like, we are all creators. So when you start your day, you just intend. Like, for example, all you have to do is ask. If you don't ask, you don't get. So I personally highlight this so much. Like, if there's only one takeaway from today's Zoom call, it would be this. I would want everyone to do this. Ask before you start your day. So if we are all energy beings, remember that we have divine support. We live in a friendly universe. We live in a very loving universe. So, this world that we live in doesn't have to be scary or negative or harsh. But remember that you have infinite support. You have infinite celestial beings. You have divine support. Or just think of your universe as a very friendly place. So, the moment you ask for help, you will receive help for everything. So, when you start your day, before you set things in motion, just ask divine light to surround you or divine beings to make your day easy. If every single person on this call today, I want you to think of one current problem that you're dealing with. It could be at your workplace, it could be something you're trying to achieve, it could be something you're trying to heal, any relationship, any one thing that you are struggling with. I want you to ask for divine help. Sometimes we think we have to carry the burden and do it physically, but we live in a spiritual universe. So why don't we try and do this? Let's ask for help, invite divine help into any problem that you're currently facing. So just say, I need help with this. I see this getting resolved. And just look how magical the things start to get. Now, we humans have free will. So if we don't ask for help, we cannot receive divine support. So it's very important to start your day by inviting divine support. By inviting, just meditating does it automatically. But if you need to do it in a step-by-step process, just invite divine support. So that is one way I like to think of protecting my energy. So when I go into my workplace or when I go outside into the world, I am being a channel of light rather than absorbing the pain. My presence, it's not me, it's the divine that is flowing through me. It is my presence that is radiating out into the world, and that love is spreading everywhere. So that is one way I like to do it. And like I said, I like to use this in everything. This is my application for everything. Before I start even the simplest of things, if I'm looking for a parking spot, if I'm looking for green lights, if I'm looking for a shopping deal, when I start the smallest of things, I invite divine support. So somehow I get all the green lights, somehow there's an empty parking spot, somehow things align. So before you begin your journey, before you begin your day, start asking for divine support, and you will notice your day, your energy is so high, it's like up there, it's full of love and light. And that way your day goes better, you attract people who are kinder, you attract experiences which are nicer. So this is one way I like to handle it.
That's so beautiful. So, yes, you were also, while talking about your experience, you said that emotions have a huge part in influencing our energy. So, can you please explain it a little more detail?
Yes, thank you. So I personally think when we talk about energies and frequency, as I was giving an example of some emotions feel heavy, some feel light. That doesn't mean emotions are bad. All emotions are meant to be felt. We are not suppressing or living in a world where we don't acknowledge our emotions. But sometimes when we don't acknowledge an emotion, when we feel hurt or when we feel a traumatic experience, and if we don't allow ourselves to feel it, our body stores it like their cellular memory. Our emotions are often held in our body, so we hold on to these emotions. So emotional healing happens when we feel it, when we release it. And especially like days like these, when we meditate, there's a lot of releasing that happens subconsciously. We don't have to do anything, but meditation does it. It's the best way to release emotions. And the second way to do it is just to sometimes either write it or just feel your feelings and address it. Once you feel a feeling, when you feel hurt or when you feel grief, often we feel lighter after we cry, after it's released, after it has come up. There is a feeling of lightness because emotionally our body has hold on to emotions. So it's important to address these emotions. Our emotions again have different frequencies. So the lowest of frequencies, sometimes if we are holding on to guilt, if we are holding on to guilt or shame about something we did in the past, we are holding ourselves in a prison. So it's important to release and forgive. So forgiveness is a great way to ascend to higher energies. So I like to think of it as there are certain diagrams which describe energy. So like on the lower frequency are a lot of shame and guilt and like anger, and then it proceeds to more higher frequencies like joy, peace, love, things like that. So different emotions have a different energetic frequency. And now when we tap into this frequency and when we often heal the lower frequencies, it leads automatically. Like for example, when someone loses a loved one, there's a lot of grief in our heart. We hold on to so much sadness, and that needs to be released. That is why it's important to cry. So what happens when we release it, when we cry? There is nothing held on in our cellular memories, rather it's just released. So it's okay to feel your emotions, release them, and when it is released, that's when you feel lighter. Automatically there's a sensation of feeling lighter. So I personally think emotions are your friends as long as you know how to deal with them. And the second thing that helps with emotional healing is forgiveness. Anytime we forgive ourselves, first and foremost, no one judges us more harshly than we do ourselves. So often it all begins with self love. I find that most health issues or diseases are healed when we begin to love ourselves. The more we love ourselves, the more healthy we start to feel. The more we can pamper ourselves in smallest of ways, like acknowledging ourselves emotionally in all ways, when we love ourselves, when we forgive ourselves, there's a lot of emotional release. When we forgive our past, when we forgive every person in our past, we don't realize how much of an energetic heaviness that feels when we hold on to resentments from the past or people who have hurt us in the past. It's important to let go. Forgiveness is one of the most powerful tools there is for emotional healing. And forgiveness comes from a place of heart. And when we say forgiveness, it doesn't mean we forgive the person. We are just letting go of their soul. We are forgiving them on a much deeper level. Sometimes it's hard to forgive when there is a lot of wrongdoings, but we are forgiving because it helps us become free. When we don't forgive, we are prisoners of our feelings. So I find that the more we heal, the more we forgive, the more we love ourselves, we get into these higher planes of love and light. Forgiveness helps you to stay on a higher frequency. And I like to think of it as when your energy is light, you can spend all day, you might start humming more, you might be happier, you might start meeting people who are kinder, you might start seeing more coincidences and signs from the universe. That's your signal saying, okay, you're on the right path, then do more of it. So a lot of times the world is your mirror. So the moment you give yourself some love, the moment you forgive, the moment you do these inner things, there is an instant outer feedback. Everything is a mirror. So people are nicer. Like two people can go to the same office and have two very contrasting experiences. One may say, everyone at my workplace bullies me, or everyone in my workplace is harsh. My boss is giving me too much work, no one likes me. And the other person may have a completely opposite experience while in the very same office. They may say, I have the best colleagues, everything is aligned, I love my job, I get the best projects. So sometimes it's about the energy, the inner work that we do that can shift our reality. So I find that self love and forgiveness can shift a lot around us. Even if we're having issues with someone, sometimes just energetically sending them love and forgiveness in physical world shifts your dynamics. So I know some people who have issues with a family member, and sometimes all you need to do is just send them love and blessings. Just send them love and blessings. Do that energetically, and the next day they start to behave differently. They start to send you love and blessings. You're suddenly energetically something has cleared. So I find that energy is very subtle. It's not very logical, but it works. So all of this, I only expect you to try it yourself and then tell me how it works. So a lot of times these things work on a very subtle level, on an energetic level. And yeah, so what today is the most appropriate day. Today is a full moon where there's so much energy flowing. So it's appropriate to talk more about these subtle energies. So I hope I answered the question, Prithvi.
Yes, absolutely, sir. So, Yash, one more thing is you said forgiveness and self-love. Forgiveness, okay, we can just do that, but what stops one from loving themselves and accepting themselves as they are?
I think, firstly, we hold on to a lot of programs from childhood. Sometimes it's not that we grew up judging ourselves. As kids, we are so innocent. We never judge anyone. We love everyone. We are pure love. We are literally our divine embodiment when we are born. But sometimes we get conditioned into criticizing ourselves, judging ourselves. Maybe it is the environment, maybe it's the teachers, the childhood, anything that programs us, and then that continues. That becomes our inner dialogue. So I find that your inner dialogue can actually, the way we speak to ourselves, are we being very harsh? Are we being very intense or judgmental? Or are we being more subtle, soft with ourselves? So I find that I had been very critical of myself. I used to, I can share my personal journey. I would often expect myself to be the achiever. I had a goal of things to do. And if I ever got less than that, I would criticize myself. So I noticed that my tone with my own self was a little too harsh. So I noticed I had to start to soften myself, soften down, just soft in everything. So I started to give myself more grace. I didn't measure myself by my achievements. Sometimes the society tells us that If you achieve something, you're worthy of praise. If you are doing something, you deserve praise. But if you don't do something, you're not worthy. But you are worthy because you exist, not because you do something, but because you exist. So the premise is always you are lovable because you exist, not because you do something, you work hard, or you're working, or you're doing something, you're disciplined. No, don't love yourself conditionally, that if I wake up in the morning, if I do this, then I love myself. If not, I'm not good enough. So sometimes we are so harsh with our own self in many ways. We put conditions. Second thing, when we look into the mirror, we often are there is so much propaganda in the society, in the social media, everywhere, that you're supposed to look a certain way. Only if you dress a certain way, if you look a certain way, you are beautiful. Only if you speak a certain way, only if you have a certain amount, you are successful. So we hold ourselves to these parameters which make us chase, like run behind things. But sometimes we just need to let go of all the external parameters and just look into the mirror and just give ourselves so much love. Self love is one of the most healing experiences ever. So, slowing down, giving ourselves acknowledging, like mirror work, looking into the mirror, just saying, I love you. I think you're amazing. I respect you. It starts from that. Just doing that every day is a good start too. Sometimes we only acknowledge ourselves when we achieve a certain weight, achieve a certain standard, which is where I think self love is affected. And over time, we also tend to have this when we judge others. So it also, we need to stop judging others, because when we are judging others, we're also judging a part of ourselves. So less judgment and more appreciation, more acceptance, including all the flaws. So when we accept us through all our flaws, that's when there is healing, that's when there is love. So I think self love is so critical to living a happy life from within, no matter what it looks on the outside. But if we take some time to slow down, to have that cup of coffee, just that cup of herbal tea, just meditate, be in that Zen mode, maybe buy yourself some flowers, maybe look into the mirror and give yourself some acknowledgement. Just tell yourself how amazing you are, how far you have come. No one knows the journey that you have been through, the challenges that you've been through, the pains that you've been through. So take a moment to just tell yourself, like, wow, you did this, you survived those challenges. There is not a single human who has not been through multiple initiations, multiple challenges, but we never acknowledge it. We're always chasing the next goal. So self love also begins by saying, wow, you did so much, you went through so much over the years, I acknowledge you, you did great. Here we are today. So it starts by appreciating oneself. And when this also brings me to a very important concept. I notice that when I'm critical of myself, when I'm judging myself, everyone around me starts to mirror it back to me. If I find that something is wrong with me, somehow my colleagues, my people around me, the loved ones around me will often reflect that same inner dialogue to me. But when I start saying, no, I'm worthy of the best, I deserve the best, I am worth loving, everyone around me starts to reflect that loving language. So, again, I personally think it's an experiment to do. When you start to give yourself love, no matter what, I'm going to love myself, then even when others around you do something, you will have firm boundaries and you will make sure that you're being sent the same kind of love. Sometimes there's no need to even set boundaries because you have done the love, the inner work to give yourself all the love. People will start to mirror it back to you. Outside world is just a mirror of your inner world. So remember, we are creators. We create our reality. So if you start doing a self-love experiment, everyone around you is going to do the same and give you the same love. So I hope that helps each one of us on our self-love journey.
Very beautifully put, Yash. And the moment we are listening to you, we are already full of love. Yeah. And as you said, we have to start the day with an intention, and we have to set ourselves in that frequency of love and start our day, so that that is what we emit out throughout the day, and that will what
Yeah.
we will attract back. So
Yes.
so Yash, very happy. Thank you so much. Let's see if we
Thank
have any questions from the participants. Back to you, ma'am.
you.
Bhavani.
Yeah,
Thank you,
thank you.
Prithvi.
And thank you, Yashasvi. It's a beautiful session. So it's
Thank you.
wonderful knowledge. So thank you. Yeah, like definitely it is a takeaway for us. Like, you ask and it will be given. So
Yes. Speaking of that, there is also a wonderful book by Sonia Shockett. It's called Ask Your Guides. It's a beautiful book, and I'm going to share, I will type the name of the book. It's a beautiful book which elaborates on this topic, where when you ask for help, you get it from so many sources.
that's
Yeah.
really helpful. Yeah, thank you. Thank you so much. So masters, yeah, actually, Bindu is there. Please unmute yourself.
Hi, Yashaswani. Such a great topic. As Prithvi said while you are talking, we are all feeling that self-love. Awesome examples, and how you mentioned like how we should start on every day. First thing in the morning. Appreciating ourselves. Yeah, I'll definitely practice this. But can you give us more tips on how to practice self-love?
Yeah, okay, sure. First of all, thank you so much for your kind words. Yes, so I think personally, I can only share from my personal experience. So over the last few years, I also had a journey where, speaking of a very personal journey, so I went through a divorce and I had to go through a lot of emotional healing. And I took a few years to heal emotionally, so many emotions that come up, and you're going through emotional healing, self-love journey, giving yourself all the love. So during this journey I realized that self-love is so important. Um, it helps you, first of all, raise the standard of what you are expecting in life. And it's a personal experience, but I find that I can only share from my personal experience. Sharing experiences, as Patriji says, is how we reach out to everyone and connect with our community. So, personally, I think self love for me started when first I started prioritizing me in the little things I did. I did not compromise on how I took care of myself. I would take time out for myself, whether it was some things like, for example, first I created a vision of what I would want to be. What does my ideal self look like? What is my most, I like to call it my goddess self. So the men can say my god self or my goddess self. Each one of us can embody our highest version, like our goddess self or the god self. What does my goddess self look like? What does she walk like? How does she eat? What kind of food does she eat? I started to embody my highest version. So I would think of how she would love herself, what were her non-negotiables, what would she not tolerate in her everyday experiences, in her friendships, in her work, in everything. So that helped me start having good boundaries. I would not just be a people pleaser. I would have clear boundaries. I would start to, because I had a vision, sometimes having a picture also helps. Like, and think of, your mind can create any reality. So create the most beautiful one. So first find your highest version. Take a few moments and envision your highest version. What does your goddess self look like? How does she walk? What kind of workouts does she do? What kind of eating routines? What kind of habits? When does she sleep? How long does she meditate? How many books does she read every week? How many people does she bless with her light and love? How many people does she, everything? Like, you can embody the highest version by first knowing where you want to go. You can't get to your destination without entering it on your map. So you enter your destination and your map leads you there. So first have a vision of your highest self, and that vision will actually lead you to becoming a better version. And that will also make you want to love yourself because you are transforming into your best version. So you'll have better habits, you'll have better self respect, you're going to treat yourself better. And not only that, you also do little things of self love. So when on this journey, I didn't just focus on I'll get when I become my best version is when I'll like myself. No, I'm going to love myself every single day through my challenges, through my heartbreaks, through my hurts, everything. So then, how do I do that? I would just give myself more love, give myself more grace. Some days I just wanted to do nothing and I would slow down. So just give yourself grace, do everything that you can to embody your best version, but love yourself at this time. So that is something I would say can help. Have a vision, give yourself love in everyday practices. It's the small things. Like don't have the last bite of the thing. Give yourself the best bite. Don't just choose something. Don't give yourself only 5 minutes to get ready. Give yourself an extra 10 minutes. Take 5 minutes extra to appreciate yourself. Take an extra picture of yourself, maybe. Whatever it is that makes you feel loved. If it means giving yourself something that you always wanted, give yourself time to slow down, maybe go out in nature and just slow down. All of these practices help you love yourself better. I hope this helped.
Absolutely. Oh my God, that's such a beautiful explanation, Yashaswini. I feel like you read my mind. I always, throughout my life, I always, thought
Yeah,
that loving others is great, and whenever I would allocate some time or spend some me time, I always used to have guilt feeling that okay, I'm spending too much of time for myself. I should be working on this for others. So it was always like loving others. But today's
yeah.
topic is like I feel like this is the perfect topic for me. Start loving myself. So thank you
Yes,
so much.
most welcome, most welcome.
Thank you, Bindu, for the such wonderful question, and then thank you, Yash, for like this is really a wonderful answer. Like, Navi, it really helps everyone. And we have one more question in the chat. Sometimes it's very hard to be in that mode of self love, especially when you have experienced a lot of shame, criticism from parents. How to come back to this whenever we go back into the feels and really hard.
Yeah, so emotional healing is an actually it is a whole topic in itself. We can go really deep on these things because it's not just simple to just say I love myself. Sometimes we need to, like we said, uncover those feelings. There's so much emotion that needs processing. Emotional healing needs to be addressed first, then comes joy, peace, love. If we don't feel grief, how are we going to feel lighter? So shame is some telling you something. I'm sure it is something that needs to be addressed, which would be another whole topic. But if you have some shame from childhood, or if you have some of that, sometimes inner child work really helps, or just meditating. I would say if there is any question that I'm getting on this today's topic, my first answer is you can meditate and it will solve your problem. But if you think you need something else, then comes these answers. So my first answer to everything is meditation. That is something which will automatically take care of it. But if you want to consciously also do something to support it, any kind of emotional healing work, maybe go into just maybe write down some feelings that you felt as a child that needed healing. Sometimes dialogue and emptying out is also helpful. Like you can imagine that your inner child and you are having a chat and you say, even though you went through this during your childhood, I know it was not something you were prepared for, but from now on, I'm going to love you and I'm going to give you all the acceptance that you need. And you imagine yourself hugging your inner child. And sometimes forgiving your parents can also release a lot after having some dialogue mentally. That also is a whole other topic. There's a lot of emotional healing that can happen when you forgive yourself. Give your inner child some love. Imagine saying, from now on, I'm going to love you. From now on, I will make sure you are appreciated, you are approved. And imagine hugging your inner child. That can release a lot of stuck emotions, shame, guilt. And it's not a one-time process. It's something you may have to do a few times. Emotional healing it comes in waves. So there are times when you may feel better, but then they may also come back. So these need to be released. But sometimes when you release these feelings and heal your inner child or heal these emotions, you can feel much better.
Thank you. Thank you.
I see another question in the chat. Uh, Asking your guidance from divine presence, but I don't feel their presence. Yeah. So you don't really feel like, not most of us are not very clairvoyant or gifted to see things which are in the subtle realms, but we do sense it. Like we do sense that what makes so Mr. Narayan Rao said you don't feel it, but how do you feel that watching news, sometimes watching about war makes you feel heavy, but watching children play or puppies play makes you feel light? That feeling is enough. That feeling of discernment, that something feels heavy, something feels light. That feeling is your guidance system. So most of us are not very gifted to see those things or have third eye visions or understand these presence. And but if you like, I like to do it like asking for a sign. Just say, I'm asking for help. Can I get a sign to confirm that I'm being loved and protected? You will get a sign. So there will be signs from the universe that will tell you that you are loved. So most of us don't feel the presence, but we feel that we are guided in some ways. There will be synchronicities, there will be coincidences, the right person may come at the right time. Then you'll become a believer. You gotta do it, and then you may start to become a believer. So that is something I would say from my experience.
We have to be open for it. Thank you.
Yes.
Like I feel like I'm like from Prashant Master. I feel like I'm not giving my best. How can we become a best version of ourselves, like in our childhood?
Okay, so it's very subjective. Is there a vision that you are not able to be disciplined about? Is there something that you're not able to keep your promise to yourself? Like maybe sometimes we say, from tomorrow I'm going to wake up and meditate every day for the next 10 days, but then there is a lag in us getting back to into the rhythm. So if you feel like there is a lag in your habit versus your vision, maybe just give yourself grace and try to get back on track. And it's very subjective about becoming the best version, but I would say first have a vision. Like I said, you can't put something on if you don't know your destination, your map cannot take you there. So first know what your ideal vision is, create a vision, and then take steps. And I also like to call it baby steps. Take baby steps and you will get to your vision. Have clarity about your vision and take action repeatedly. And if you miss it for a few days, it's okay, but get back on track. So give yourself grace, have a clear plan, take action, and that should help.
That's wonderful. And Vikal sir, you raised your hand. You have any question?
Yeah, hi, Yashaswani. Fantastic session.
Yes.
The topic was
Well,
you were supposed to share your experiences, and we led into the loving yourself. And I really don't know. I was looking for this topic to understand how to love yourself. I was asking myself, and I got all the answers today. Only one point I have here is the moment you start loving yourself, you get into the mode of I. So how you control yourself not getting into the ego zone? So what is that thin
mm,
line you have to observe that loving yourself too much, you should not be getting into the ego zone and become arrogant.
very true. Yes, actually, that is a very good point, because loving yourself should not come to the point where we are not caring for others. Like, for sure, if it is coming at the cost of hurting others, or we are not really valuing others, or not, I think when it comes to we sometimes, because we as a society are always meant to, we are made to humble down a little too much, so we always think it's bad to love ourselves. So I wouldn't, there's a fine balance. It's okay to love ourselves, but if it's starting to come at the cost of saying, making others compromise or making others feel less appreciated, making others feel like it's happening more on the point where we're becoming, I wouldn't even use the word selfish because it's very harsh, but it's about knowing, are we still being kind? That's one question I would ask. Am I still able to do it from a place of seva or just being kind to people? Am I loving myself without affecting my energy around people? Then it should be okay. And ego, I think ego is a little bit of healthy boundaries is very important, because we as healers, empaths, sensitive people, we are at the far end of the spectrum. We are always prioritizing others, sometimes not choosing ourselves. We are letting people overstep our boundaries. So at least coming to a middle ground. Everything is about finding a balance. So I feel it's okay to have a healthy sense of self and boundaries. But if it is going to come at the cost of everyone around us, or if it is going to push boundaries or make others feel like they are not loved, then we may have to bring that in check. So, how does it feel? Does it feel heavy or does it feel light? I always ask myself based on energy. If I'm doing this, is it making me feel heavy, or is it making me feel like, yeah, I'm doing the right thing? I'm feeling light. I'm feeling love, joy, peace. If it's bringing in the feelings of love, joy, peace, I'm aligned. If it is bringing in feelings of anger, judgment, jealousy, or things like that, it is coming from a place of ego, separation, us versus them. So always I would say, if you have any question, if it's we are divided, does it feel light? Does it feel like love and light, peace and joy? Or does it feel a heavier emotion? If it's heavier emotion, maybe we can ask ourselves, what is this telling me? I hope that helps. It was a really good question. I had to think a lot to answer your question.
Yeah, thank you very much. I got, not up to the mark, but partial answer. And mostly when we practice that, then probably as we get into the practice, then more awareness will try to get you on the right thin line of that, managing how you are going to manage that. Thank you very much. Fantastic.
Most welcome.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you. Yes, that was really wonderful. Because for every work, whatever we are doing, we have to check with this one. So whether we are in a lighter mode or in lighter energy or the heavy energy. So that definitely will help us. So thank you.
Thank
And
you.
now, anyone else will have any questions, please. I don't. Yeah, Preeta ji.
Hi, it was a wonderful session. I
Thank you.
enjoyed it thoroughly, and I think each of your questions answered so many things. It was so beautiful. Like, I have been on this journey for the last couple of years, but I am finding it difficult to inculcate the same in my husband and son, because I mean, I'm also extremely aware, and I try to look and explain them in a lot of ways, but I feel somewhere men are not really open to that topic. So how do I mean, can you help me with some
Yes.
to there?
Yes.
Thank
So,
you.
that's amazing. Again, now that brings me to the same topic I discussed earlier. Now, we humans have free will. Now, planet Earth has its own rules. Like every law of land has its own rules. Like if you go to a country like Italy, they may have their own rules. Like if you go to India, different rules. So, planet Earth has a rule which is law of free will. Now, we can do some things only to the point where we can try to influence someone, we can encourage them to walk the path, but end of the day we have free will. Not even divine beings can interrupt in our karma, because we need to ask for the help, we need to ask for that energy to support us. So we can only hold a vision. I would say what you can do, which I think if I were in your place, I would hold on to a vision where you see yourself and your family members maybe meditating together and being on these frequencies of a spiritual journey. Just imagining that you are doing some activities like that, projecting it out into the future, that You all are in harmony, doing these spiritual practices. You are having conversations about your takeaways. All of you are aligned in this matter. Hold on to that vision. Just put it out there. Hold on to that vision and let go of, if we are having any rigid definitions that if men tend to be like that, or if someone, let go of those definitions. Hold on to a vision that they are starting to ease into this. Their soul is awakening to this journey, and if the timing is right, they will also feel called to do it. So just hold on to that vision. See yourself meditating together or doing these spiritual journeys, discussions together, and your light hopefully will inspire them. When you are shining bright, when you start to shine bright, when you start to do things, sometimes the best we can do is shine our brightest. People only follow us when they think, oh wow, she's doing something that is amazing. What is her secret? What is she doing that is making her life so aligned? How is she manifesting? How is she living this life? Sometimes you need a little bit of incentive. So when you start to shine your light, when you are going to have your moment of being aligned, being in that path, I'm sure it will inspire them to eventually join in. But all you can do is you shine your best, you do your best, you shine your light, you give yourself all of this, and hopefully that will inspire them to join your path. She's
That was beautiful, beautiful.
oh,
Thank you so much. I think I found my answer.
yeah. Most welcome.
We have one more question in chat, ma'am. How can I help my partner love herself again? I feel she's lost that self-love, maybe because of small things that happen in every family. One reason could be that she's not working right now and finds it hard to see herself in a job. I had suggested she work to help us financially, but now I understand her struggle. My first priority now is to support her in finding self-love again.
Yeah, that's beautiful. Yes, I think there are seasons in our life. Some days we cannot be productive when we are already going through a lot of emotional turmoil. So maybe working on that emotional healing journey first, finding that love again can help. So however you can hold that, like I said again, hold that vision to see your partner being their happy version again, being in love again with themselves, shining their light. Just hold that vision, see themselves being surrounded in that energy, and then encourage them to do what it takes to love themselves, like whether it is like we discussed today, different practices that they can do to find their love again. And when they have done that inner healing, I'm sure the other things like getting on to like finding a job and other aspects of life will fall into place. It starts with the foundation. I think inner work, sometimes there are phases when cycles in life when we go through emotional turmoil, and you may have to give them that space, give them that time, support to feel healing and love again. And hopefully during that time, your energy, as you meditate, you are in that light, it supports them further on that journey. So shine your light and encourage them, hold on to that vision that they are healing, and give them that environment and give them lots of love. Hopefully that helps.
This is beautiful, beautiful, lovely session of self-loving. So thank you so much, Yashaswani ma'am. This is really, really like very helpful for each and every one of us, like who are here, and then maybe people who will be watching it in future. So thank you so much. Like yeah, and wonderful. Like some like all the masters are saying, definitely you are such a wonderful soul. So
Thank
thank you.
you. Thank you very much. I had such a good time. Thank you for this opportunity.
Yeah, so lots of like gratitude to you, like deep gratitude, and then like so much love to you. Because really, it's like this is very. Right, I'm feeling so happy. I don't know from inside. I'm feeling really happy. So thank you so much. And, actually, it's in the chat, masters. Sorry, ma'am, you're on mute. You're on mute. Yes.
Yeah, sorry. The book is Ask Your Guides. I think it's in the chat as well. Ask Your Guides by Sonia Choquette.
Yeah, again, Shirisha ma'am.
Okay.
Posted,
Thank you,
yeah.
Sirisha.
Yeah, thank you, Yashaswani Master. And thank you, Masters,
Thank
for all
you.
joining us today and sharing your energies with us in this wonderful session. And see you all tomorrow, same time, with another wonderful Master. So until then, have a good day and good night, Masters. Thank you. Thank you all.